Hello there, crafty friends. It's Alicia of the Call Me Crafty Al YouTube channel, and today I'm going to see if I can get a sheet load of cards made in only 10 minutes. I hope you'll stick around and see if I can do it. Earlier today, I saw a video on one of my subscribers' channels, and she was attempting to do a sheet load in 10 minutes. Now, she didn't think she'd get the whole thing done in 10 minutes, but she wanted to see what she could get done because, like she said, we don't always have a long time to sit down and craft. Sometimes we only have 10 minutes at a time. And that is true. Even though sheet load of cards are meant to be quick and easy, it still took me about an hour and a half to create each of the sets that I have shared so far on camera. So of course today I will be taking a couple shortcuts, but I am going to see how much I can get done. If you haven't heard about SheetLoad of Cards yet, it is a new series that I'm doing here on my channel. Each month I'm going to give you a free 2-page PDF if you're a subscriber of mine that gives you a sketch, supply list, and cutting guides to create a lot of cards with just a little bit pattern paper and cardstock. I will link my SheetLoad of Cards playlist below so you can go check out more of that. Find out how you can download the file if you're a subscriber, but let's go ahead and try to get started. Before I start the timer, I want to tell you what supplies I'm going to be using and tell you how I'm going to change this up just a little bit. For today's challenge video, I will not be worrying about the card bases at the beginning. If I happen to have time within that 10 minutes, I will cut and fold those at the end. What I'm mainly concerned about is what's going to go onto the card front. So that's what I'll be working on today. A couple things that I'm going to take shortcuts with are this 3x4 card that is normally a piece of pattern paper, and then you have a separate piece with the sentiment. I'm actually going to do something a little different. I will not be cutting this little flag right here because I'm going to use 3x4 cut-aparts as my focal point, and most of those already have sentiments on them, so that should cut down a little time. Now I'll go ahead and show you the supplies that I will be using today. For my pattern papers and focal point, I will be using papers from Echo Park's Have Faith line, and I have already picked out the papers I'll be using. These first three will be the backgrounds of my cards, and the thing with this is they are double-sided, so I might flip some of those around. And then for my focal point, I'm going to be using this 3x4 cut-apart page. Another thing that I'm going to switch up, if I bring this back in, I had a piece of cardstock around the 3x4 card, and I decided that I'm going to use vellum for this. I like the way that you'll be able to continue to see some of that pattern paper behind the focal point on the edges. And then down here at the bottom for this fishtail banner, instead of using one color cardstock, I will be splitting it between the pink and the blue. Before I forget, I don't even think I mentioned the name of the viewer who shared her video today. Her channel here on YouTube is Me Crafty, and I will link her video below. I hope you'll go check it out after you're done here. So here in just a minute, I will hit start on my 10-minute timer. Once I do that and I start doing the cutting, I'm probably going to go to a voiceover for the rest of the video. So if I don't answer any questions, make sure to leave those in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. Okay, I am nervous. Are you ready to see what I can do in 10 minutes? Here we go. As with most of my projects, I started with all of the cutting first, and because I was trying to beat the clock, I did layer up my papers as much as I could. I did have to be really careful though to make sure the one end was always aligned, so I cut these cards okay. This vellum wanted to ruin my challenge. It was slick and it really took a lot of patience to get it aligned just right because it kept slipping out from underneath my fingers. At this point, I was feeling pretty good. It had been just a little over 5 minutes and I was almost done cutting my paper until I realized that I had to get a fishtail in the end of these and I was going to have to do it by hand. And now with just a little over 2 minutes left, it was time to assemble these cards. To save time, I did decide to just adhere everything flat down, no foam tape or anything. Am I going to make it in time? Well, I thought before I started that I might have had a fairly good chance of getting farther, and then I had to start cutting the fishtails in the end of these. I think that really tripped me up there. In my head, I was actually going to cut these longer so I could use the fishtail banner punch, but I should have cut them into 2-inch wide strips instead of cutting them down to size and then thinking I'm going to punch them, because I was never going to be able to get these in there in a timely manner because they were so short. So what I did get done, everything got cut. I got 8 focal points put on the vellum. All in all, probably not bad for 10 minutes of crafting. You know, if I came down here a couple more times, I'm sure I would get them done. What I'm going to do now is go ahead, I'm going to start a stopwatch, and I'm going to see how long it takes to get me through getting the card fronts done. I'm not going to include the card bases, but if I can at least get through these. Once I had assembled all of the 3x4 focal points, I started separating my papers into the different patterns. And then you'll see here, I'm trying to figure out which card I want to go with which background paper. To save time, I did only use one side of the pattern paper. Here I had a little goof up, again, probably because I was rushing. I should have put the flag on the back of that card before I had adhered it down, but I fixed it on the first one and I remembered on all the rest to do that first. Now again, to save time, I decided that each pattern background paper would have cards. 2 would have the pink fishtail and 2 would have the blue fishtail. Again, just to make it quicker and easier, and I didn't sit there and spend 20 minutes deciding exactly which piece was going to go on what card. If you are a subscriber to my channel and you would like access to the free PDF file, don't forget that I will be linking my playlist, which includes project shares with information how to get to the file, in the description box below. I just finished the card fronts. Now, technically there are a couple here. Like these 2, they don't have sentiments. I will add those later. The kits that I showed you earlier came with some stickers, so I'll probably add maybe a word sticker and a picture sticker. But I was able to get everything assembled in under 10 minutes. So I would say, even if I wasn't rushing on this, because let me tell you, I did, and there was a couple times I messed up in there rushing. But even if I didn't rush, I think using the 3x4 cut-aparts, I could have probably got these done completely with the card bases in probably 35 minutes. So that's not too bad for 12 cards. Now granted, there's nothing really fancy about them. You know, there's no dimension, there's no foam tape, there's no gems. But I think these would make great cards that you could send to friends or maybe even give to somebody as a gift. If you enjoyed this challenge video, I hope you'll give my video a thumbs up. Let me know below what else you might like to see me try for a challenge. If you end up making any sheet load of cards of your own throughout, probably until about the 25th of the month, I would love to see them so I can add them to my viewer submission video at the end of the month. I put out a video the other day about that, so I will, let's see, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pop that up in the upper right hand corner now. And then you can also find it in the description box below. Until my next video, I hope you're all having a crafty day. Bye-bye.